Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new Colossus Sessions. My name is Brad Wagner. I'm your host for today. I'm here at the Lower East Side Manhattan venue, Arlene's Grocery. So thank you, as always, to Arlene's. We've got a special, well, all the shows are special. We've got an extra special show today. The first segment is what we're calling the Downstairs Neighbors segment, which is where we highlight, showcase some of our favorite Mexican artists. And so we've got Marion RAW to be the inaugural guest on this Downstairs Neighbors segment. She's dialed in from Mexico City. And the second segment today, we've got a band called Tapeworms dialing in from Lille, France, and that segment is presented by our friends at France Rocks. And so welcome, Marion and Tapeworms.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is fun. I've had the pleasure of checking out the videos that you both respectively have recorded for this, and it looks great, man. I can't wait to share what you guys do with the internet, and we're about to dive into Marion's segment. We always do these things alphabetically, and so Tapeworms, we will see you in 25 minutes or so. Yeah. All right. And all right, Marion, so congratulations on Deep Cuts. That
Thank you.
exists. It's out in the world. We've been listening to it a lot at home lately. It's a very distinct aesthetic to it. It's not all covers. There's a mix of covers and originals, but it's cover heavy. There's at least 6 covers on that record, and I've been enjoying it very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was not a very it wasn't a planned thing. So when it started coming together through the beginnings of season 1 of our wonderful pandemic, it just sort of like started, taking shape, and the original songs mixed in with cover songs. But I guess it was just a coping mechanism really to get through last year and what we're still going through this year. So I'm so glad you've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, very much. That's the first time I've ever heard the pandemic referred to like it was a TV show. Season 1 of the pandemic, man. Yeah, hopefully we're at the season finale pretty soon.
I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of your music to be shared with the internet right now. Can you tell? We'll do 2 songs and then we'll chat, and then 2 songs and chat again. Can you tell us what's coming up first and second today?
So I started this show just with my most recent single, which is Run with the Sea. And that's an original of mine. And I guess I linked it in with a very beautiful cover. The original song is a Mexican classic called Barandales del Puente. And I feel like these two folk songs weave into each other really nicely. And I just really enjoy playing them and performing them. And I hope you enjoy it.
All right, we'll dive in right now.
Cool.
Run with the widows and dance in the sea. They hold on my breath when they're following me. And oh, how they roll when they know where to flow. And oh, how they know where to go when it's so. They hold on my breath when they're following me. They hold me down fast when they're ravaging me. subir al tranvía que está cayendo la nieve fría. Si está cayendo, que caiga poco a poquito, morena mía, dame un besito. De todas a ti te quiero, de las demás a ninguna, morena mía, luz de la luna. De todas a ti te quiero, de las demás a ninguna, morena mía, luz de la luna. Con eso yo me despido, cortando flores, azares. Aquí terminan los barandales.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, this looks so cool. I love the place. I want to talk about Teatro Lucido a little bit, and also some of your visual style pointers. Like, who have been some of the artists who have been really important to you? I mean, that saturated red and like the underlight that kind of makes it look like a vaudeville show almost. Like all of those aesthetic decisions add
Yeah.
up into something really cool. Yeah, can you talk about the place and some of your visual heroes too?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the place is a underground venue in Mexico City called Teatro Lucido, as you mentioned, and it's totally rough around the edges. It's a house, an old mansion, in like a very cool part of town that still has been ungentrified. It's still like a very local like neighborhood. And this wonderful, magical woman called Wendy set up this theater, and it started off as just theater and then slowly became the home of like these very bizarre happenings without any planning, without any funding, without anything. It's just incredibly, just it's a very unique space, and I think that those kind of places are hard to come by. And so I'm very fortunate to have such wonderful friends that were willing to be supportive. As for the aesthetic, it was really just working with what there was. I think at one point we had a few technical difficulties, accidents, like a lamp broke, so we had to improvise this lamp with aluminum foil.
happy accidents though. I mean, I think that it looks excellent. It's always, I mean, I've done plenty of things where I end up with a light from Office Depot or something, there's
Right,
like
right.
a nice camera, like a proper video light that goes wrong, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, dude, Office Depot and some tinfoil, just like you're saying.
Yeah, I had like friends running to the shops being like, "Is a 40-watt bulb gonna do it?" I'm like, "No, it has to be at least 100." And we were all just sort of like running around doing what we could, and that was the result. So like sweating like mad, and just I guess when you talk about influences, it's definitely the Robert. I mean, Waters with. Lynch with I don't know, maybe even I would say it's so hard. Well, every time I get asked this question, I go into a blank. It's horrible. It's not that I don't want to share like the influences. I just can't. Like right now, it's just, I guess you just grow up absorbing so many visuals and so many things that it's, I guess that there's the Lynchian influence that's, loved and adored, of course. And I'm drawn to that.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Yeah, dude, it's not Jonathan Waters. I'm blanking on. It's not
No,
Roger Waters,
no,
but I'm
I
blanking
didn't
on it
say
too. I mean, I know we're both
John.
picturing
It's
the
John.
little. Is it John? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's John
The pencil
Waters.
mustache, the awesome haircut. Yeah, I mean, it's. I think you've done a wonderful.
Crybaby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, the David Lynch Red Room from Twin Peaks, man, it's amazing. I think you did a wonderful job, whether intentional or whether happy accidents. You've fallen into something really cool, and I'm enjoying it very much, man.
Thank
Are you
you, Brad.
ready for songs 3 and 4?
Yeah, I am. I don't remember what order it was in really, but I think it's going to be If I Could Turn Back Time, which of course is a cover by Diane Warren. Am I getting names wrong today? Like I think I'm just.
I mean, I know it as a Cher song.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't written by Cher.
Okay.
It's funny the way that artists break through with cover songs, and many times we relate them to the covers, but really they weren't written by them. Like Sinead O'Connor with "Nothing Compares," that's a Prince song, or Whitney Houston doing a Dolly Parton cover.
Right, right. But the one Black Boys on Mopeds, that is a Sinead O'Connor song, right? Or is that one that she made? Did she made that famous by somebody else's song? Damn. Okay, I didn't do enough research. I thought that was a Sinead O'Connor song, which is, if anybody doesn't know, that's one of the tracks on Deep Cuts.
Yes, exactly. Well, enjoy. So it's If I Could Turn Back Time, and I think the one that follows is
Si no te hubiera.
Si no te hubiera sido, which is a Marco Antonio Solís song. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Marion.
Thanks. If I could turn back time.
If I could find if I could find a way, I'd book all those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you left me like you used to do. Extraño más que nunca y no sé qué hacer. Despierto y te recuerdo al amanecer. Era tan diferente cuando estabas tú. Sí que era diferente cuando estabas tú. Nada más difícil que vivir sin ti, sufriendo en la espera de verte llegar. El frío de la vida me parece mal y no sé dónde estás. La gente pasa y pasa siempre tan igual. El frío de la vida me parece mal. Era tan diferente cuando estabas tú. Sí que era diferente cuando estabas tú. Nada más difícil que vivir sin ti, sufriendo en la espera de verte llegar. El frío de la vida me parece mal y no sé dónde estás.
Is that the guitar that you're playing right there? Is that your one? Is that like your everyday guitar? Is that the one that you happen to be playing, or is that what we hear on Deep Cuts also?
Yeah, that was my first guitar. So it's like, I don't know, I have a sentimental, it's not anything, it's just like your regular, the first good, like a Yamaha, I think. It just has like so much spirit. Like all of the songs that I've ever composed have been on that guitar. So I really enjoy playing it. It's got, I don't know, I think I would have to come across something very special to replace that. Yeah, we hear it on Deep Cuts.
Yeah. I mean, the guitar itself has a nice vibe to it, and Deep Cuts, the entire record has a vibe to it. I mean, there's like, you did the entire thing on that 4-track Tascam, right? Is that true? Or, just straight to cassette, which is, I mean, it gives it like a, dirty's not the right word for it, but there's maybe kind of like
Filthy.
there's a layer of personality and grime to it on top
Yeah.
of all the singer songwriter. I mean the Woody Guthrie song in particular, like that makes
Hmm.
absolute perfect sense. It's
Hmm.
so nice how that aesthetic matches with the songs that you've chosen.
Thank you.
Was that did you set out? Did you say, all right, this is the kind of sound that I want, and then grab that Tascam and make that happen, or did you just kind of fall into that aesthetic and then figure out that it worked for the record?
Well, the Tascam thing, I mean, I had that old Tascam. It hadn't had any maintenance ever, so it was like really dusty. It was fucked up to begin with.
Yeah.
And then I was working with AJ Davila from Davila 666, who's like a master in that kind of aesthetic. That's his whole like garage lo-fi expertise. And so he was just really good at getting, like when he mic'd it all up, he was just so fast about being able to achieve the sound straight away. So I guess I've always been very clear as to the aesthetic that I'm looking for, and it's always just been I really like that kind of that coziness and the lo-fi aesthetic from people. Another Johnson, I'm gonna get it right, Daniel.
Okay, yeah, as in the devil and.
As in the devil and
Yeah.
I've always loved that, you know. So obviously there's people that have done it like way more like high definition within that lo-fi, like Bruce Springsteen with Nebraska, but it's still that Tascam sound, and I think that's an aesthetic within itself. I mean, so once you decide to record on a 4-track, that's it. It's like a whole other way of working, because you can't cut and you can't really, it's one takes, because I'm not recording with like anything other than the guitar. So yeah.
Yeah, well, cozy is such the perfect adjective for me to, because as soon as that sound starts to happen, it's like, I mean, I feel like I'm indoors on a shitty rainy day and I'm just, inside with a cup of tea and a book hanging out, and it's like it does feel nice and comfortable and at home, and it just instantly kind of puts you into that frame of mind. Puts me into that frame of mind anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what about, I do want to talk about the song selection a little bit more, because I mean, I just now found out that the song I thought was Sinead O'Connor is not Sinead O'Connor. The song that I thought was Cher is not. Are you drawn to covering the covers of those songs? Is there something particular about that draws you to those songs that people know better as somebody else's songs? Or was that just kind of how Deep Cuts worked out?
It's just how it worked out. I mean, I didn't really, for example, the Cher song it was my favorite song when I was like 8. It was just like, it was something that I traveled around so much that music was sort of like my loyal companion. And it was whenever I would hear I don't know, if I heard a Cher song in Texas and then I was in London and heard it on the high street, there was a familiarity that really like drove me it made me feel safe. And you've got to keep in mind that this was also like early 90s, so the Gulf War. And so there was a lot of like tension politically. So Texas and London had that sort of the oil war vibe. So Sinead O'Connor and Cher and, uncool things like Vanilla Ice were definitely, around in the air, in the ether. And when quarantine hit, it reminded me of that feeling of like that war state, that fear that like we don't know what's going to happen, and that tension. So I kind of went back to my childhood friends, so to speak. And that, I mean, obviously once I had recorded them and started looking into the origins, I mean, it's not the case with Cher. I knew that was a cover, but I was also very surprised with the Sinead O'Connor one, because when I was looking at the royalties and to be able to upload the songs, I had to look into that. And I discovered that it wasn't originally Sinead O'Connor. And that's the beauty of cover songs, when you make them yours, like Elvis did with Hound Dog. It's so nice when you just, you take somebody else's art and make it your own. I hope somebody does the same with my music one day.
Yeah. Or go meta and do an entire cover of your deep cuts, of your interpretations of Cher's interpretation of that interpretation.
Yeah,
but the next one, I just found out, this is an aside, but that Tennessee Whiskey song, Chris Stapleton had a hit with it recently. It's a wonderful song. I just recently, like this last week, found out that's not in fact is Chris Stapleton's song. Goes back to like the late 60s, early 70s. George Jones.
There you go.
It. Yeah.
There you go.
So the next one that we're about to hear, though, this is this is a Woody Guthrie song, right?
He didn't actually make any music to it. It was a poem.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Okay. So the origins of the song is really interesting as well, because people have just like, I don't remember the country star that actually decided to collaborate with the poem and make it into a song. I'm sorry, the name is totally escaping me right now. But as of there, like I kind of based my vision on the Barbara Dane cover, but also modified certain things. I was also really surprised that it's a song about Mexican deportees, but it had never a popular version hasn't been covered by a Hispanic. It's always been done by Americans, and yet the it's written in the first person. So it's a very interesting song. I had to really get past being able to sing it without crying at first. I'm very moved by the song. It really hits me hard, and it's so important to me. I really hope you enjoy it.
All right, here we go. We'll hear that one, and we're gonna hear the brand new one as well, right? We've got Unfuckable coming up last, which is out in the world, and it's gonna be on your forthcoming record as well, right?
Yes, exactly. It's on a compilation right now, only available on vinyl, and it'll be available to the world probably later on in the year.
All right, here we go. Deportee. Thank you, Marion.
Thanks.
Good.
Action.
Where the crops are island and the peaches are rotting, the oranges are piling their curiosity dumps. They're sending them back to the Mexican border to take all the money just to wait back again. Goodbye to you and goodbye Rosalita. Adios mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. Well, you won't have a name when you ride the big airplane, they will call you will be deportees. My forefathers' fathers, they waded the river and took all the money they made in their lives. My brothers, my sisters, they can work in the fruit trees and ride that damn truck till they drop it and die. Goodbye to you and goodbye Rosalita. Adios mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. Well, you won't have a name when you ride the big airplane, 'cause they will call you will be deportees. Some of us are legal and some are not wanted, and when our work contract's up, they'll have to move on. It's 600 miles to the Mexican border, and they'll chase us like outlaws, like crossings like thieves. Goodbye to you and goodbye Rosalita. Adios mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. Well, you won't have a name when you ride the big airplane, 'cause all they will call you will be deportees. We die in the hills and we die in the desert. We die neath the valleys, we die in the plains. We die neath the trees and we die in the bushes. Well, both sides of the river we die just the same. Well, goodbye to you and goodbye Rosalita. Well, adios mis amigos, Jesús y María. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane, 'cause all they will call you will be deportees. Cut. Unfuckable. Say my name when you're walking down the street 3 times. I swear that you'll weep. Say my name when you're walking down the street and don't bow. I swear you'll weep. And I said, yeah, I'm unstoppable and I'm unfuckable, and I'll say this back to you. Yeah, I'm unstoppable and I'm unfuckable, and I'll say this back to you. And I said, stick my name in the back of your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Stick my name in the back of your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Yeah, I'm unstoppable and I'm unfuckable, and I'll say this back to you. Yeah, I'm unstoppable and I'm unfuckable, and I'll say this back to you. Yeah, I said, you left her so right in my bed. You left a hole right in my head. You left your soul right in my bed. You left a hole right in my head. And I said, cut.
Thank you, Marion.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, totally, man. This has been a lot of fun. Maybe I see you in Mexico City in like 2 months. Maybe.
Wonderful.
Yeah, perhaps it's here in New York once the world is open again, and the new Colossus Festival is a actual physical thing once again. 2022 seems likely that will be the case. But
Wonderful.
Marion, thank you, and best of continued luck
Thank you.
on Deep Cuts, and the new music. When the new music is available and all of the those details are public, I'll stay tuned, and I can't wait.
Thank you so much. Bye,
Yeah,
guys.
of course. All right. See ya. Marion, help me to welcome now. We've got Theo and Margot from Tapeworms tuned in from Lille, France. Theo and Margot, thank you for being here.
Hi.
All right. Awesome. Marion, thank you again.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, see ya. All right, Theo, Margot, thank you for being here. This is a lot of fun. I've been listening to Funtastic quite a bit. That's out in the world. It came out in 2000, and dude, this video that you sent is wonderful. It's just like super clean, super well. You guys look and sound great, and I mean, I've watched it certainly more times than I had to, just from a professional standpoint. I mean, I watched it like 6 times, and I enjoy it very much. And I think both of the songs that are coming up are from Funtastic, right? Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening first and second here today?
Actually, the songs we started writing them into it was like 2018, I think so. It was in the Youth Cultural Center from the Margot's hometown, and it kind of represent what we were at the moment, and it defined us well, and what? Two cool songs. Two first cool songs.
Nice, dude. Well, dude, the internet is very much on board. Corentin Haymans. Can't wait for Tapeworms. Roman Briere. Sorry if I'm butchering these names, but dude, yeah, everybody, fantastic. Best album of the year. So people are on board, and very much looking forward to what you guys do. And so I think we're ready, right? We'll dive into music right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to Tapeworms.
Level 1.
Thank you, Theo. Thank you, Margot. Man. Dude,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it looks so good. It sounds so good. The internet again is totally on board. I don't know if Dennis is one of your guys or not, or if he just happened to tune in. But Funtastic, best album in years. Pam is completely on board. Hey Pam, wow, Tapeworms, what a cool, unique sound. Agrees, Steven. So yeah, everybody's on board, man. This is a lot of fun. What is the vibe like in Lille right now? Like, is it really difficult to find the time to get together to be able to play as a band, or are restrictions kind of easing? Are you sort of, I mean, how difficult is it to make something like this?
Well, actually, it was kind of easy for us because we all live nearby, and well, it was kind of easy, but it changed stuff for us, like because it's difficult for us to like just move the drums and record the drum for the live session. So we choose to adapt ourselves and just mess around with drum machines and samples and pads, and that was kind of a new way of working for us, and it inspired us a lot, that way of working. But for the rest, yeah, we didn't make a rehearsal for like 6 months, I think, because like no perspective of doing gigs. So yeah, we are focused on like composing and working on songs and production stuff and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Good, man. Before I want to talk a little bit about where you're at in terms of production and new music and stuff. But we've got I love this comment, man. This dude bought the CD and the vinyl, the Japanese version with the 2 extra songs. So you've got a fan, so it exists. Yeah, the Japanese version. There are bonus tracks of Funtastic, and so yeah. Lucas, I wonder where are you dialed in from Japan, or are you elsewhere? I wonder where everybody's dialed in from. Actually, I know Pam is in New York, but yeah, where is everybody tuned in from? I would imagine we've got a pretty international crowd. You guys are tuned in from Lille. And so, yeah, so you're focusing on production and writing new stuff. I know that at the end of this set, the 4th song we're going to hear is a brand new one that comes out on May 7th. Can you talk a little bit about that track, Magic Pierrot, that's coming out on the 7th, and also just in general what you guys have coming up in the near future?
Yeah, about Magic Pierrot, actually is a song we wrote for the Japanese edition, as we made bonus track for it, so it was in it. Then I think lately, because of the lockdown and everything, we focused on working together in a different way, and we didn't compose a lot, but we reworked on our own song in a way to promote it on stream. So we made cover of our own song, and we worked on videos, and yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. And Magic Pierrot was inspired by a trip we had with Margot in Japan last year in March 2020. And it's actually the name of a small restaurant we went in Shingu, which is in Wakayama. And it was like during the whole COVID crisis start, and it was like a place we found like kind of a relief during our trip. So it inspired us a lot, and we immediately thought about this place when we had to compose a new song for the Japanese edition as bonus track. So well, that was the main inspiration for us.
Nice. Good, man. Well, I'm ready for music. Are you ready to dive into the 3rd and 4th song right now?
Yeah, of course.
All right, here we go. We've got Dog Concern coming up right now.
Stripes and shadows vanish on your back.
you, Margot. Man, dude, this sounds so well. It sounds so great. And just as as I say that, Polyvinyl Records sounds that exact same thing. Sounds so great. Lucas, who is Lucas is dialed in from France. He's the one that bought the Japanese import. Saying so much energy comes out of your music, and that's exactly what Bob Ferguson from the internet is saying. We know Bob is like the ultimate music fan, so what he says matters, man. He's got this cranked up through the house stereo, and I feel like I'm floating, dude. That's pretty cool, man. I like that.
Cool.
And one more thing the internet said, this is Lucas again, but I think the new Colossus version of Dog Concern is more electronic, and I love this, which is, I mean, that's one of the cool things about doing this job is just seeing how artists rearrange their music. Like you're saying, it's too big of it's not so easy to move the drum kit all around, so you do it on a drum pad, and Lucas noticed it and dug it, man. I think it sounded really good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, we will. Let's see. Theo, Margot, help me to welcome Marion back to the quote unquote stage. You've got Marion, Theo, Margot, Tapeworms.
Well done.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so Tapeworms, best of luck on Funtastic, and Marion, best of continued luck on Deep Cuts. Those albums are both out in the world, and thank you guys for sharing the music with us today, and best of luck on what's coming up next, man. I know I'm going to stay tuned for both of what you guys have coming out in the near future, and hopefully New York is where we cross paths next, and New Colossus 2022. We'll see what happens, but thank you again so much for doing this today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you.